This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
O'Shea goes by.
Wake your punk ass up. That crust out your eyes.
That's a clip from The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby. We have our very special guest, Heather B. I know you've been excited about him coming all day.
I have
because you're a big X-Men fan.
Yeah, and plus, I have to be honest, my nephew and I, when he was much younger, he used to drag me out to the movies, and I saw the Chronicles of Narnia.
Hey.
And that's when I just was like, wow, this dude is incredible. And I'm just watching your work and everything that you've done. You've just chosen some crazy works to be a part of. Ernie Hudson was just here. What do you say, Sway?
Well, we have to introduce him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know. I thought he was like my little boyfriend for a while. I just thought to talk to you. I'm sorry. Mr. James McAvoy is here.
Okay.
I'm sorry, James. I just started yapping. I got excited. But we just had Ernie Hudson here. He was just talking about Ghostbusters, iconic film, and he said he read the script and he just automatically knew. And with all the works that you've done, everything for us basically has just pretty much been successful. Was it a case for you of just reading the scripts and just knowing?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've been in a couple of stinkers that have been forgotten. But hopefully and thankfully you've not seen those. Yeah, usually you get a really strong idea of if something is right or if it's wrong, and I've been lucky that, because I don't plan ahead too far. I just let things come in at the last minute a lot of the time, and I've been lucky that good things have come in most of the time. Like I say, there's been a couple of stinkers.
What are the stinkers?
I can't tell you what those are. Because then the director will be on the phone to me going like, "Hey dude, that film meant everything to me. It was my life." And I'm like, "Yeah, it sucks." But yeah, so I'm not going to mention what I think is a stinker.
Okay, maybe we could throw some names out and you can say yes or no. I'm just kidding. The Last King of Scotland, though, that was...
Thank you. Yeah, that was one of the early ones for me as well, where I really got a chance to kind of play a big part, I suppose, in a movie. That was an incredible adventure as well as a great movie experience. Getting to have that time in Uganda and getting to recreate an amazing and harrowing part of history, as well as being the presence of somebody as amazing as Forrest doing that incredible performance as well.
Forrest Whitaker,
which of course he won the Oscar for that year. Yeah, owes it all to me, of course. Taught him everything he knows. Which he pretty much said when he didn't say it. No, that was an amazing experience,
But he couldn't have won that Oscar without your performance, don't it?
Dude, it has been said by mentally ill people that's the truth.
I'm an X-Men fan, so you playing Charles Xavier. Are you an X-Men? Did you grow up with the X-Men comic?
I grew up with the cartoons on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
And I still remember the day that I got offered Professor X. I phoned up my pal Mark, and we used to watch X-Men together and come in and talk about it on Monday mornings at school. And I said, "I'm going to play Professor X," to which he said, "Off," and didn't believe me and hung up the phone. It's amazing to be a part of that, to be a part of something that so many people hold dear, and also just to be a part of something that, it takes itself seriously, but it can still have a little bit of fun with itself as well.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's great, right? I want to talk about The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby. The DB over there, he's for us our Siskel and Ebert, all rolled up in one, and so we're going to come back and talk about the movie and open up the phone lines, 888-742-3345. James McAvoy is here. Give us a call.
I sent you from the future.
Yeah.
Piss off.
That was a clip from X-Men Days of Future Past, which I actually just watched recently on the airplane. Man.
Oh, wow.
I didn't catch it when it came out, man. I like to sit and let it marinate for a second and then to rediscover it. James McAvoy is here. He played Professor X in that. And we're talking about a new movie, DB. You this is your big chance to really dig in deep, okay, and bring out the best interview you can from James here.
Wow.
Good luck.
All right, no pressure.
Go.
All right. Before I get started, also, I want to congratulate him because X-Men Days of Future Past is now the highest grossing worldwide X-Men movie in the franchise.
Solely because of my participation.
Absolutely.
$750 million.
I've heard it said. Yeah.
How much of that $750 million do you actually get?
I get $750, which is really...
On every dollar made?
No, just $750.
All right, so back to Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby. So I'm reading up and, with the 3-part of the film, and I wanted to ask if you thought it was kind of a risk doing this movie because you have a first-time director who wrote and directed it.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any credits to his name other than this, but everybody's giving you props on your performance. They're saying you and Jessica do an awesome job. Viola Davis.
But that I'm the best.
Pretty much. They're saying that this is like one of your best performances.
Yeah.
I mean,
And, but that I'm the best in the movie as well.
you are the best in the movie.
Yeah, no, I think
exactly.
that's true.
So did you feel at all like,
No,
you know,
seriously, it is true.
that it might be somewhat risky doing this movie with a first-time director?
You know, I've worked with a lot of first-time directors in my career. You know, even Last King of Scotland, as far back as that, it was a first-time director, and it's always gone all right for me. I like working with first-time directors. Working with the first-time writer-director is even easier, actually, because you've got an insight into their imagination and into how they want to make the movie in a way that they could never. Anybody can talk the talk. Anybody can talk the talk. Then you get on set and they don't know what they're doing. But if he's written something exceptional, beautiful, and that seems to impart how he's going to shoot it as well, which his script did, then it gives you a real deep insight into whether they're going to be good or not. And I was quite confident in him. What was weird is that I get offered that script 3 years ago and I turned it down because it's got a big tragedy in it, and the tragedy was a bit too close to me at the time because I'd just become a dad and I didn't really want to go near it. They came back to me 2 years later, another actor had fallen out, and I said yes then, because it was a great script. But I turned up not knowing that they were going to make 2 movies or 3 movies out of this one script. I was still going off the script that he'd sent me 2 years previously.
Yeah.
In the intervening 2 years, he'd written this other version. So not just from my point of view, but one from her point of view. And I had no idea. So I turned up to the read-through on the first day of rehearsals and they hit me with these 2 scripts. And I'm thinking, what have I walked into here? And he was a first-time director, and he was going to make 2 movies in the time it usually takes to make half a movie. And I thought, what are we doing? But he's amazing, and he pulled it off.
So there's how many installments?
There's 3. The one that's coming out Friday is them.
Yep.
There's also him and her, which is told from the different perspectives. One from James and one from Jessica.
It's sort of, my movie is a mystery, like the title suggests. It is the disappearance of my wife, the disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, and I don't know where she's gone. And she turns up like 7 or 8 times in my movie.
Yeah.
In her movie, he wrote the sort of answer to that mystery, which is where she is and what she's doing. And I rock up in her movie like 7 or 8 times. And so you get her point of view as opposed to my point of view. And if you've ever had an argument with your loved one, you always think you're right. She always thinks she's right. And yet, you know, it's a tangible thing. Somebody is right, but you've got such different opinions, and you remember the argument. You remember the things in different ways. So, for example, at one point, I'm unfaithful to her, and in my version of the movie, I fess up. But in her version of the movie, she guesses. So it's just like slightly different versions of how things go down, depending on who thinks they're right when, you know?
Yeah, I was going to ask because the tragedy drives you two apart. And this is not your conventional love story, you know, guy meets girl, something is messed up, you know, whatever. But when we see,
you're not gonna say what the tragedy is.
No,
you probably shouldn't. Yeah,
it's a big,
just give it up.
Major
it's a big
plot
one,
point.
but also the movie isn't upfront about it. The movie sort of reveals it halfway through, so it's nice to kind of not
Cliffhanger. Okay,
it ain't like it kind of like haha, here you go, because it's pretty hardcore, but. It's good to just go in open and not knowing what happened to them. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, all right. What were you gonna say, DB?
Well, my question was gonna be, when we see all 3 parts of the movie, are you gonna take away a different outcome from it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that whatever order you see the movies in as well colors your opinion of who's right, who's wrong. Not who's right or who's wrong, but who you feel closer to or who you feel more distant from. I also think you can see any one of them independently. That was very important for Ned as well when he was writing it, or when he was making it, that each film stands alone, because it's fine for cinephiles or people who've got a bit of cash. They can go to the cinema 3 times and see these movies, but for people, not everybody can do that. So each one, they can't just operate as a sort of triumvirate. They've got to be on their own. So you can go see any of them, but I would suggest that if you did do that, you would go and see my movie because it's the best.
Okay, great. And that would be him.
Yeah.
All right, okay, cool. James McAvoy is here, man. We're going to take your calls, 888-742-3345, and we got a special game that DB created for him called...
That's right. It's called How Much Do You Love Your Favorite Movies?
Sway in the Morning. Sway in the Morning, Shade 45. My new best friend is here, James McAvoy. Yeah, man. You're my new best friend, bro.
I'm honored, man.
All right, there, man. No problem. Here, put your headphones on, best friend. Tracy has a really, really really important question she wants to ask you.
Yeah, James, because I'm hanging on to like every word you're saying because you're talented and you have interesting thoughts. But really, it comes down to this accent.
Okay.
Because you're originally from Scotland, right?
I am Scottish.
Okay. And I'm always interested in seeing how people outside of the States view Americans. Are there any like core differences between folks in Scotland and here?
Well, it's strange. I think Brits in general, but certainly Scottish people and sort of West Coast Scottish Catholics as well, are quite self-deprecating and we're quite sort of overtly and to a fault humble. And I feel like Americans are brilliantly like, what's the point in that? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, let me hear your New York accent. Let me say you say that. Let me hear it.
I don't really do a New York accent. Did I do one there?
Yeah, you
What's the point in that?
What's the point in that? I don't know. Was that bad or good?
It was good.
Thank you very much. Directors everywhere just going like, I'm not hiring that guy for that New York part now. So I think that's the main difference is that there's this it's sort of a cliche to say it as well, but cliches are there because they're true a lot of the time. Americans are really confident, and it's something that I love when I come here because there's no sort of thanks very much. No, it's really kind of you to say so.
No
but
humility.
Honestly, I'm really not that good and all that kind of thing. Americans are just like, yeah, thanks. You know what I mean? Yeah, I am that good.
Yeah, that's me.
That's
Right.
me all over. And it's sort of direct and less time wasted, which is a nice thing.
You considered going into the clergy at one point in your life?
When I was about 16, I was thinking about it largely because I wanted to be a missionary. I wanted to get out of Glasgow and I wanted to see really exciting places and go to exotic places. And you kind of wise up a little bit and you start to realise that that's not the best reason to become a priest. And that there are other ways that you can travel and experience other cultures other than going to their countries and saying, hey, all you people, why don't you become Catholics? I decided not to do that. Partly as well because I discovered that
Sex.
I was starting to find women liked me. Some women liked me. Anyway, I was getting a little bit more luck with ladies, and the idea of selling my chastity or wedding my chastity to the Lord, was a big mistake. So I ended up not doing that.
So you chose coochie over the Lord, basically. Is that what you happened, right? How long? You were 16. You were still a virgin at that moment. When did you lose your virginity?
Was I a virgin at that moment?
You were? At 16.
And you want me to reveal live on air what age I was when I lost my virginity?
Does it make? Yeah, right.
13.
14?
13.
13? Damn, what a young hoe.
We get the highest rate of teenage pregnancy in Glasgow in the whole of Europe at that point. I think we still might do.
Wow.
So it was like there's a lot of shagging going on.
Yeah.
In my town from a very young age. Yeah.
13. I can't even imagine that. That's
What a fecund lot.
Wow, man.
Wait.
James McAvoy.
The girl is 13 too?
I'm not going to go into that.
Hopefully she was at least.
Yeah.
You didn't do it to a 10-year-old, right?
What?
No, okay.
No. Oh my God,
Listen this way, James.
This conversation is getting dark.
All right, we got John on the line from Las Vegas. Good morning, John. How you doing?
Hey, John.
Good. How you guys doing? Good morning, everybody.
What's happening, man? Say hello to James.
Hey, James. What's going on, man? Big fan of yours.
How are you doing? Thank you very much. It's kind of you to say so.
Hey, I got a question for you. I know you're promoting your new movie and everything, but I got a question about X-Men. When are you going to go bald?
Well, I just had an email through from my trichologist saying that I am actually going. No, I think probably in the next movie. I always envisioned that I would go bald in the second movie or at the end of the first one, but it never happened. So I think in this next one probably. But you have to wait and see with what Simon and Brian come up with as well. But I think probably the next movie.
All right, we got Chris on the line from Atlanta. Say hello to James McAvoy. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, how you doing, James?
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good. I'm a pretty good, big fan of yours, and I was wondering, because I just saw on the news late last night, what are your thoughts on Scotland trying to gain independence from England?
I keep my opinion of it to myself, but I tell you, it's a difficult one. I don't feel comfortable throwing my lot in with politicians because I don't trust them, and just because they're talking about a debate that happens to be something I care passionately about doesn't mean I trust them anymore. So I kind of don't want to be backing these politicians that I either do or don't believe in, on either side of the argument. I've got my opinion, and I know where I'm going to vote, I think, unless somebody sways me at the last minute. But you know, it's a massive, momentous thing, and I feel like people need to be voting not with their heads and not with their wallets, because people are voting a lot of the time because they think, I don't know, education is going to be slightly better, or they're going to have $400 more in their pocket at the end of the year or something. I know that's a lot, but independence is forever, and the state of the economy is, you can change in 4 years when you get a new government. We're not voting for a new government that you can change again in 4 years. We're voting to separate our country from the United Kingdom, and that will be forever. And so I feel like we have to vote with our hearts rather than our heads in a lot of ways. It's the same as, you know, can you imagine California getting carved off and becoming independent?
Yeah.
You know, it's a massive, momentous thing that is not, we can't go back from. So we have to make sure that no matter how it turns out, whether it's good or bad, we've voted with our hearts, because then we've done the right thing no matter how it turns out.
Man, I would vote for you, man, if you went into politics, bro, man. Yeah, you're a man of the people.
Thank you.
All right, man. Well, let's see if you know what you know about yourself, okay? The name of this game. Oh, hold up.
It's how much he knows about 2 of his favorite movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That's the name of the game?
It's called How Much Do You Love Your Favorite Movies?
There it is.
We heard 2 of your favorite movies are Goonies and Back to the Future, so we're going to see how much you know. Question number 1. What was the name of the treasure hunter whose remains were found by the Goonies? Was it A, Chester Copperpot, B, Lester Gobstopper, or C, Walter Goldminer?
Chester Copperpot.
Exactly.
Oh, got that right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
He's not a fake Goonies fan here.
Oh, I'm a big Goonies fan.
Number 2. Doc Brown and Marty McFly are attacked by a group of Libyan terrorists in the parking lot of a shopping mall because Doc had stolen a radioactive element needed to power the time machine. What was that element? A, mercury, B, uranium, or C, plutonium?
Plutonium.
Yep, got that right.
Damn.
Who said uraniums? Yo, uranium. Okay.
Question number 3. The character Mouth, played by Corey Feldman, wears a t-shirt with a famous musician on it. Was it A, Michael Jackson, B, Prince, or C, Cyndi Lauper?
Oh, I know that one.
Say again, Michael Jackson, Prince, or Cyndi Lauper?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm torn. Cyndi Lauper features in the movie, of course, with singing. I'm going to have to go for Michael Jackson.
No, Prince.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry, Corey.
You're a fraud.
Forgive me, Goonies. Goonies never say die.
All right. Question number 4. Which popular 80s band had a cameo performing in Back to the Future 3? Was it A, Huey Lewis and the News, B, ZZ Top, or C, Fleetwood Mac?
Repeat the question. Was it they had a cameo in the
movie?
movie?
They had a cameo performing as a band in Back to the Future 3.
Oh.
Tell me again.
Huey Lewis and the News, ZZ Top.
ZZ Top.
ZZ Top.
That is
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. It's kind of an easy one. Which movie grossed more, Back to the Future or Goonies?
Oh, Back to the Future.
Exactly.
All right, that's it. Pretty good, right?
Pretty good.
McAvoy, man. He
Nice.
knows his movies. He knows his favorite movies.
Impressive.
Can't believe you missed that T-shirt question, though, bro.
Oh, Sway.
That changed my whole perception of it.
I've changed myself. I don't even like myself anymore.
James McAvoy, man, thanks for coming by,
Yes.
man. You guys make sure you see the disappearance of Eleanor Rigby coming out Friday, right?
Coming out Friday.
Them is coming out Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I got a good movie to watch, man. Pleasure, man. Come back, man. And all right.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.